27-26 in Happy Valley.
All right, Garrett, hold of yourself. Set me up.
Dwayne, the comeback.
Okay.
Dwayne, you're down 12, was it? 26-14 with 7 or 8 to go. How did it happen?
We just, we had adversity there. We had to keep fighting, keep swinging. It wasn't pretty much the whole game, but we relied on each other. We had faith in each other, and we came out on top.
With that faith, was there any doubt for you guys? It seemed like it was pretty bleak there. At any point did you guys think it's not the night?
No, with me, there's never no bleak. Every opportunity we get on the field is an opportunity to win the game, and it was a tough one, but we wanted it tough as good. And, it's not a lot.
Dwayne, what was said, if anything, before the last possession, and what was just kind of the feeling in the huddle when you were gathering before that possession?
It's kind of hard to prepare for moments like that, and we do a lot with Coach Mick and conditioning and lifting, and we try to simulate those hard moments. But all we just said is we love each other, and whatever happens, happens. We want to put it all on the line for one another. We did that.
Dwayne, it looked like receivers had some trouble catching balls tonight. It looked like you had some trouble throwing some accurate passes tonight. They were on you pretty good. But what just kind of came together there in the fourth quarter in the late going? Obviously, the pass to Ben Victor was huge. But what just kind of came together with you guys and you and the wide receivers?
Well, they weren't going to let us throw the ball down the field, and that's pretty evident the whole game. They sent a lot of pressure, and I missed a couple throws. We had some great protection on some plays, but Coach Day said the plays we made in the fourth quarter, and this Coach Mick said to us our last drive. I remember last year we played Penn State at home, so that was the memory we had going into that last drive.
I know the winning touchdown is the big play. Obviously, it wins the game, but the Ben Victor play. What did you see there, and what do you think of Ben Victor today?
Oh, he did a great job. When that play, I look back and we got a certain pressure, which we did get that pressure. We're going to change the play. I look back and Coach was like, "Okay, run it." I see it coming and I don't know what to do. So I snapped the ball. I seen it coming. I pulled up and just seen Ben. And I was like, I gotta make a play. And he made a hell of a play for me.
Hey, Dwayne, that was the biggest catch of his career at Ohio State. When you put a ball where you put it, where he has to go up and get it, I think that's been the vision of what he was supposed to do as a better career. How much confidence do you have in a guy that really hasn't made a play like that? And is it just crazy to think that's when it happened?
I mean, Ben does it all the time in practice. He's a freaky athlete. Every Sunday we work on 2-minute drills and situations like that. And, he makes his catches every day. So this is the time for him to do it in the game, and he really came up big.
KJ, it was almost good.
Dwayne,
you guys were trying to figure out, obviously you said they weren't going to let you throw the ball down the field. You guys found some stuff late in the screen game and some of the shorter passes. Just what's it like when you're trying to figure out what's going to work? Because in the fourth quarter, you guys figured out what was going to work. What was that conversation like?
Yeah, I mean, it definitely was difficult because we seen what we were getting. We were trying to get certain looks, trying to get certain plays that would go against the coverages that we were seeing, and it wasn't really working. And it took us a few, drives, a few plays, a few different calls to see what would work, and it came together in the fourth quarter.
Dwayne, did the touchdown to Dobbins right before half gives you a little bit of a lift, and you come out second half, left the guns blazing. What changed after kind of an ineffective first half, and then looks like, hey, different team?
Yeah, I mean, kind of what happened versus TCU when we played and we weren't really moving the ball the way we wanted to. We weren't coming up big on third downs, and Jacob made a great play before halftime. Gave us momentum going into second half and got the ball and drove down the field. But just credit to how great our offense is and how much we rely on each other to make plays.
Hey, just one thing on McSorley. You admired him in high school coming up, the 3 state championships in Virginia. What was it like kind of dueling him? He gets 450 yards total offense tonight.
Well, everything that I was expecting. He's a hell of a player, fierce competitor. He makes a lot of plays, and he gave us a lot of fits today. But glad to come up with W.
Dwayne, you talk about how you're always a forward thinker, and obviously this game has a lot to do with how the season's going to pan out. When you're down by 2 scores late in the fourth quarter, do you think forward about what is at stake in the game, and how do you feel like you performed with your back against the wall down there?
Well, when you play in the game, you want to keep your mindset on that game. And the thing for me was just trying to do everything I could to win the game. I wasn't thinking about next week or whatever the case would be if we were to lose the game. But just the biggest focus is just trying to score when we can and then try to come up big.
Did what Sharif Miller said?
Dwayne, you were so poised. You've been so poised through the first 4 games, and you started off, it was a little shaky. How much of that was the environment? How much of it was what the defense was doing? And then you got it together. What was going on early in terms of the way you were playing?
The environment wasn't really stressful. I probably would just say that we weren't, moving the ball as we wanted to. I mean, that still things wrong with offense. But, thought we did a good job recovering.
Thank you, Dwayne.
And that's the wrap on Penn Urban Meyer making his way to the room. He's now 6-1. He's now 6-1 against Penn State as the next state coach in the right there. Meyer takes the motion. 26-1.
All right, folks, we're gonna open them up. Clay in the back first.
Coach, 26-14. You're down 7-8 minutes to go. And what happened? Where did the magic come from?
Well, Ben Vick started that bad boy off, that comeback, and that was one of the best plays right in front of me on the sideline there. And he went to attack the ball, and then the receivers, just got in his defender's ways and blocked his heart on. He made a great play, and all of a sudden they gave the whole sideline hope. Defense gets the ball back to the offense, even though it's way down deep in there. And then one of the great drives in Ohio State history.
Tim, over to the left.
Urban, 2 years ago here, you had the ball with a chance at the end of the game and came up short. This time, your offense goes down and scores. What does that say about Dwayne Haskins and what the team's doing right now?
Yeah, the first half was awful, in a lot of ways. And give credit to our opponent, but that's a hell of a team we just played. And Ryan and Kevin did an excellent job making adjustments and started protecting him and keeping him upright. And when he's upright, he's very good. And our guys make plays, man.
Over here, Ari. Urban, you opened up with Ben Victor, but that was something that we hadn't seen him do at all. That was like the biggest play of his career. And, when you're down by 2 scores late in the game and it feels like it's going to need a miracle, was that a miracle?
No, he's had 3 weeks of great practice. He's one of those extremely talented, very good young man that just has not performed to his potential, but he has been outrageous in practice, and really that's a coming out party for him.
Over here, Tim.
KJ Hill play. Obviously, he's the guy we always seem to forget, but winning touchdown, on the wide screen there and stuff. Just talk about him just a little bit. Just what he meant to this team tonight. Obviously, J.K. Dobbins.
Yeah, you list Paris Campbell in there, and obviously the unselfish play of Terry McLaurin, and the offensive line started blocking those guys because they were blitzing. It was at one point it was 7 out of 11 blitzes. That was about 70-80% of the time they're coming after us, and then we start settling down a little bit, running the ball. And but KJ Hill, to answer your question, and Paris and those guys are they've been doing it for a long time for us, and they're playing at a high level.
Urban, so much with the offense had worked through the first 4 games. What's it like trying to figure out what's going to work in a place like this against a defense that's doing out? And what did you guys have to do to find the right thing?
Hats off to the defense, because they kept us in this game. As bad as the offense was in that first half, I want to say we had 100 yards or something. And they're very good defense, but we were not blocking them, and we were not just pitch and catch. We had a couple drops, and we didn't get the ball downfield. But the halftime adjustments, give coaches credit now. They did a good job, and obviously we're an offensive line-driven program. They controlled the game after we got going.
Over here, Austin.
Urban, when you talk about those errors, the start, the penalties, another big explosive play allowed on defense, all that, how did you guys do this? How did you come back? How did they rally the way they did?
The penalties were that's awful. We had a face mask on a field goal, I think.
Yeah.
I'd like to see that, but we had a face mask on a field goal, and some young players. We had an excellent punt return, and we had a call back, and just some silly penalties from some young players. We got to get them fixed, because usually you don't win a game like that when you do that. But you took care of the ball, and you protected the quarterback in the second half, and our defense tackled against the darn quarterback now. He was running all over the place again.
Over here to the right, Bill.
Two questions. First, how much does a game like this take years off your life? And secondly, with Chase Young, with Nick being out, you knew he had to emerge, and he obviously did.
Yeah, he was outstanding, and Draymond Jones, stuck a knife in our heart when he went down, but he was just a rolled ankle and he fought through it, and I just saw him. It's really bothering him now, but he stuck it out. Just great performance all the way around, and guys like Jeff, when Damon Arnett went out now, we had to make some substitutions on special teams, and because we were down to 2 corners of it, Kuda and Kendall.
And you've done this for a long time. How emotionally wrenching is a game like this for you? What are your emotions
Great when you win.
We got just time for a couple more. Over here, Rob.
How satisfying is the whole thing, recruiting all of it, is to get guys to make plays. Tonight it's like the ultimate guys making plays. How satisfying is it, coaches, to see that happen?
Well, that's satisfying. More than that, it's satisfying to see guys just fight. That sideline was not giving up. There was a time now. You looked up and then saw those white pom-poms and the whole deal and thought that was over. And on our sideline, I'm telling you, Ben Baker changed the whole dynamic of that game. And I think the stadium felt it too. When he went in now, we were looking at one-score game.
Got time for a couple national guys over here. Paul.
Urban, we're about to end 5 games into the season. You mentioned that's something that's obviously concerning you. What else for you? Where else do you think you guys haven't tapped into?
Well, you just got to, put a big circle around the first half, everything. We gave up a big hit, 95-yard touchdown pass or something against Vancouver, 90-yard touchdown pass. The biggest thing was offensively ineptitude, just not blocking guys and not executing, and then come back in the second half, and it was
Then over here to the left, last question. Pete.
Urban, 4th and 5, they call timeout, you call timeout, they call timeout. Just walk us through the drama of that, and then it leads to obviously a zone read.
Yeah, the quarterback's their guy, obviously. He's a winner, he's a competitor, and he's a great player. So the conversation was that somehow they're going to get him involved in that play. And so Greg came up to me and said, okay, let's burn a timeout. Let's see what they're in. Wait right before the snap. We did. And I could hear over the headsets, this is, they're going to try to get a zone read to get the quarterback involved.
Coach, thank you very much.
Thank you.